Indie games are literally the pillar keeping games alive, and for some reason, there are not enough people who know about most indie games that are out there. That's why I made this series, Indie Watch, to shine a brief spotlight on games that need attention. We'll be looking at all the resources, making sure the games are legit, and providing as much information in a short amount of time. Indie games deserve a spotlight just as AAA games do, so welcome to Indie Watch. Rough in the Riverside was a find I couldn't believe I missed. Just look at it. A 2D character running around like Mario or Banjo, and best of all, having a mechanic that copies and pastes colors and attributes to other objects in the field. It's definitely no other game that stars a 2D character running around a 3D world, right? When looking at this game made by Zocrates Laboratories UG, okay, I see a very inspired 3D action platformer, though some of this reminds me of Klonoa, probably due to the bright colors and how animated the character is when running all over the place. I see jumping, running, a unique power that can be used in clever puzzles. I'm really looking forward to Rough in the Riverside, especially on February 11th when the demo comes out. I'm gonna play the ever-living shit out of that demo.
Stop it. Get some help.
I also want to point out just how inspiring this game is. We had a lack of 3D platformers for a good long time. It wasn't until A Hat in Time brought back interest for the platformers. Demon Turf awakened speedrunning in me, it awoken speedrunning in me, remaking the Crash and Spyro series in hopes of cashing out on their legacy. Bringing interest back to the AAA space for 3D platforming, and to sell Crash 4. And Astrobot, which won Game of the Year, I should say, as a 3D platformer in 2024.
Astrobot!
Though they may have done that because people were already pissed off at the mainstream media for sticking up for games like Dragon Age the Veil Guard, sorry. Just know that I'll definitely be looking forward to it. Sometimes I miss the old days, and when I do, I go back playing games like Alundra, Trials of Mana, Star Ocean, Tales of Phantasia, but none so recently. That's when this little gem caught my eye, Shrine's Legacy. Bet none of you even heard of the game Alundra. Maybe I'll talk about that game sometime later, but yeah, I do reminisce a lot. I'm getting old.
I'm too old for this.
From the very beginning, it looks like Chrono Trigger in its making, but then again, it looks like a lot of things that I've played in my youth, but I think it's more or less Trials of Mana or Alundra or something to that nature in action RPG, okay? That has no turn-based battle and focuses on real-time combat on the overworld. The Twitter account has a website for those who want to see more information, and for what I can see, this will be something worth looking into in the future. There's a press kit on their website, so I plan to go over that to see what I can find, and I'll let you know what I find if I add it into the video. Games nowadays do not even try to make something like Shrine's Legacy, and only recently have something in the form of Sea of Stars really brought back that feeling of playing a good 2D RPG, or even a 2D video game. From what I can tell, Positive Concept Games is still developing the game, but you can play a demo of Shrine's Legacy on Steam. I'll be taking a look at it myself. Now this is an interesting one for me. The developer's trying to make a game that's World of Warcraft and RuneScape in one. Knowing the implications of that is actually quite terrifying. I guess Abdul here is trying to make something that has the gameplay of World of Warcraft with systems and mechanics on the RuneScape side. I personally played both and I enjoy RuneScape more, the old school kind, just to be clear. I love how OSRS has the presence of grinding for what you want, which is odd to say because I hate doing repetitive events. It's the problem I have with Final Fantasy XIV and its dailies and everything that is monotonous within its content. RuneScape, on the other hand, has a lot of content and has the best quest system in any MMO, and the grind becomes more of a vibe out moment if anything. You're doing the same thing all the time, but you're actually in some sort of zone out mode when you do it. Though some activities become too much for some, the rewards can be good, and they can be bad. For something like RuneScape, RNG can be your enemy. The Guardian Realms may be wanting to mix WoW and OSRS, the combat of WoW, while also dealing with a RuneScape-like reward system and mechanics. I'm not really too sure. Killing cows for that epic early game mace drop that has bleeding on high damage as well? Maybe. I will certainly look forward to this. And that's all I have for this episode of Indie Watch. Did you like the information? Did you like what you saw? If you did, please leave a like and subscribe to the Indie Observer, and I would hope to see you in the next video. Anyway, have a good night, and have fun out there.